Welcome to Ready to Mosh, a podcast all about rock, metal and alternative music. I'm Kev P.
And I'm Jem J. Each episode will bring you the latest news, talk about new releases, and review gigs and festivals that we've been to. There'll be a smattering of guest interviews and a lot of random chat.
As well as the podcast, you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram. Just search at Ready to Moshcast. Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Ready to Mosh. This is our review of Stonedead.
It is.
So, for people that don't know about Stonedead, it's a 2-day festival.
Well, it's officially one day, isn't it?
Officially one day, but it's 2 days.
Well, yeah, they've started doing things on Friday night now.
Yeah.
They may have always done a bit, but it's kind of got bigger on Friday nights now.
Yeah.
But the official line is one day, one stage, one monster rock show, I think.
That's the tagline, yeah.
Yeah, being based on Monsters of Rock from off of the 80s and 90s, and it's led by volunteers who used to go to the Monsters of Rock Festival.
Yeah, it's not a huge festival. Did you say it was about 4,000?
I think it's around 4,000 capacity on the Saturday. There's a lot of day tickets as well as camping. So camping-wise, it actually starts 2 o'clock on Friday officially, so people can turn up from then. They have the bit of the Friday night shindig, and then you've got basically like Friday, Saturday night camping if you want it.
Yeah.
Or you can just do Saturday and camping, I think, as well.
Oh, was that an option as well? I didn't know.
I can't remember now.
I didn't.
Or maybe it's just a day ticket and camping.
I think it was just a day ticket.
I think it's day tickets or camping, and the camping allows you to go on Friday, or you could just turn up Saturday if you wanted.
And it's our first time there. We bought the tickets on a whim when they got released last year.
Yeah, we saw the lineup for last year, and it had already sold out. Obviously, due to COVID and everything, I think that kind of spurred people on because it's one of the first festivals that was
fully
on last
open,
year.
yeah.
And we missed out last year, unfortunately. The line looked really good. So we spotted early bird tickets going on sale on the weekend of the event last year and just bought them, didn't we? We didn't know what the lineup would be.
Who was going to be there?
We just thought, it's a bargain. It's not far from us.
Yeah, it's like a 45-minute drive.
Yeah, within our usual festival range.
And it was an absolute bargain. I think the tickets were like 50 quid each.
I think they were, the early birds for last year, and that was including camping.
That was including camping, yeah.
And we just loved the whole premise of it as well, really, didn't we? The way it's all set up.
Yeah.
We loved the sound of it. We thought it sounded like
different. It sounded a good festival. Yeah. Like a real old school festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got tickets that last year. And I mean, we've already got tickets for next year.
We have. We bought them Saturday lunchtime after seeing about 2 bands on Saturday, I think.
Yeah. We went out to the tent, didn't we? And
we saw that early birds had already gone on sale, so we just got them there and then. And
it's a good job we did, because the 1,200 early bird tickets have sold out.
They have already. But you can still get general sale.
You can still get general sale, yeah. And they're doing a promotion with the...
I think free
costs?
Postage at the time of recording. We're recording this on the Monday after all. Is it Monday?
It is Monday.
It is Monday.
Bank holiday Monday.
So obviously by the time this goes out, the promotion may not be on, but it's still only £5 postage.
Yeah.
And on that note, just to mention, they actually have old school paper tickets.
Yeah. Real old school tickets.
Good. But they are really well organised with their tickets. So our tickets came probably September last year.
Yeah, they didn't take long.
As great as old school tickets used to be, you've then got to remember where you've put them, find them out, and remember to take them with you.
Yeah, that could be a nightmare. So.
It is when you're not used to it and you've been on e-tickets for over a year now. You just don't have to think about that thing anymore.
No.
That every time you went anywhere, it's have you got the tickets?
Yeah, it's a dead conversation pretty much, isn't it?
And then it kind of moved on a little bit to have you printed the tickets? Have you got the tickets?
Mm.
But anyway.
So let's talk about this year's festival then. So, what were your thoughts at the beginning?
I thought from the moment we drove through the gates, I thought it was just an amazing setup.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, we drove through the gates to Newark Showground.
Yeah.
One tiny bit of feedback. There wasn't a lot of signage till the very last roundabout.
Yeah, there was plenty of signage once you got to a certain point. Yeah. But it was kind of very... hidden that it was where we needed to be. Yeah. And us and a few others started to try and make a right turn. And I said to you, we've got to keep going. Mm. And so we did it. I think a few people behind us did the same thing.
Kind of slowed down. There were basically 2 entrances. You went past one to the other. Yeah.
But, I mean, they did communicate all of this, but unless you were there, it's difficult to kind of know.
Yeah, because it's quite a small, well, not a small country lane, but it is it's a single carriageway lane. And if you're not familiar with it, you might not really know what you're looking for.
Yeah. So, I mean, once you were close enough to it, it was clear where it was.
It was really obvious, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, literally you drove through the entrance, you had a volunteer in their Illuminous jacket welcoming you, saying you'd have a nice weekend. You just kept driving down the driveway, the path, the entrance.
The road into the car park.
Yeah, there was just kind of regularly spaced out staff just waving you in, waving you along.
Showing you where you exactly
where you needed to be. I think the lines then split into two just for people to check your tickets, and then you got wafted through. Little dude telling you exactly where to park. So that was all really well laid out. It was easy to spot where you camped because it was pretty much a long strip of campsite and then minute walk to the car, if that. 2 minutes maybe, probably. If you got lost.
I mean, we got there, I'm trying to what time we got there. It was only about 2:10.
2:15. We did end up setting off slightly later than we wanted, and there was issues with traffic. The whole of Newark was gridlocked due to accidents, so we had to take a bit of a scenic route.
A very scenic route.
To get there. But yeah, I think about 2:15.
Yeah.
When we actually got there.
They did say that they weren't going to let people in just not to arrive, but there was a lot of people already pitched up by the time we got there.
But you can understand why. Obviously, a lot of festivals say don't arrive before, but, you know.
You could understand with this one.
You wouldn't want people queuing on that road, really.
No.
Yeah, we got parked up. We took the tent over. As soon as we got onto the grass, someone appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah, like
Are you all right?
From Mr. Ben.
Yeah. Do you know where you're going? Do you want help finding space? There's some spaces over there, or you can go over there. And we're like, yeah, we're fine then. We kind of clocked which direction.
We knew where we wanted to be.
Kind of keep in line with the car just to make it easy to find, I guess.
Yeah.
So slightly concerned because she did say, don't leave too much space between your tent neighbours, please, because we've got a lot of people to squeeze in. So we're like, we're going to be touching tent like we're at
tripping over
Bloodstock.
people, yeah.
But no, we pitched up. It was fine, and there was plenty of space around
There was
us.
a lot of space, yeah.
The other thing was...
I was going to say one of the best things that I thought was a great idea, again, back to the staff, was the idea of them bringing wristbands.
Yeah.
So if you've got your tickets to hand, you can just go up to... They were just walking around the campsite shouting if people needed to get the wristbands. And you just gave them your tickets, they gave you the wristbands, and that's it, job done.
Pop them on
no
the door.
queuing.
So I think they were selling programmes as well. So it just saved, it wasn't far to the box office, but it saved a couple of minutes walk and knowing where to find it as well. And a queue. So yeah, that was definitely a bonus.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, really kind of caught me off guard, but I thought, why would you not do that? That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I kind of get it. For some festivals it may not work.
It may not work, yeah. But
things like download RIP, because they check your tickets when you're coming in. So people could do it there, I think.
They could do it there,
because of the way everyone lines up in order as well when you come in. They could just walk up and down with them, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was great.
Yes, that was a good spot. One of the things the campsite I think could benefit from is showers.
Yeah.
Because there are no showers at this one.
Which we knew before.
Which we did know before.
And obviously it's only 2 nights, so it's not the end of the world.
But it's probably an expense that just can't be made at this time.
Yeah, and I can get why they don't do it as well. I think it would be quite an expense for them to put it in.
Yeah. And, I mean, the toilets, they were all clean. I had no problems with those. They were fine.
They were. It did mean using old school...
They were old school...
What's the word? Portaloos?
Portaloos,
yeah. And obviously the last few festivals we've been to, because we've got the camping upgrades, we have been used to more flushing toilets.
Yeah.
But they were fine. They were clean.
Yeah, they were fine.
As clean as they can be. Always had toilet roll in. I never had a problem with that.
Yeah, same.
I think one of the other things I didn't like, just on sanitary issues, was that the drinking water was quite close to the toilets.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
And I understand they probably need to from a logistical perspective, but yeah, especially with it being kind of Portaloos and there's no they had sanitizer in the whole time, but it's still a bit, So we didn't use the drinking water. We took some with us.
Yeah. I suppose one of the other things I really noticed, and it was really nice, was everybody there, it seemed like the nicest festival I've ever been to. All of the people were so friendly.
Yeah, I think because you left me putting the tent pegs in, didn't you, while you went to get another load from the car?
Yeah.
Man at the side of us could see I was struggling with both of our mallets. And he lent me a mallet, which was much better to start with. And then I think after we were just sat down having a drink outside once we'd got the tent up. And our other neighbour that we chatted to quite a bit, he was just walking past saying, there's no queue at the box office if you want to get your wristbands, but we'd already got ours.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that's just a nice thing for someone to do, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And whereas we said in our Bloodstock review about it being quite tribal, you could see there were little groups that were kind of gathered, but it didn't feel like that.
It never felt tribal, no.
It just felt like, they obviously know each other, so they've pitched up together, but it wasn't like saving space for people or anything.
Yeah.
It was just...
And it wasn't kind of massive just kind of like isolated groups in just different sections. It was just everybody was there to just have a good time.
Yeah, and like everyone who walked past would say hello, pretty much, wouldn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, it's probably the friendliest one I've been to for a long, long time.
Yeah, in terms of staff and
staff and guests,
people.
Yeah,
the people, if you will, the audience, the crowd.
I suppose, kind of moving on from that, I suppose we should probably talk about the arena itself. Do you think?
Yeah.
So I think the layout is great. It's like a 5-minute walk to the arena, if that.
If that, yeah.
And the arena's slightly sloped, which is great because I never really struggled for a view anywhere.
No. Yeah, it's very slightly as well. Just a slight detour on that. Accessibility-wise, it was great, I thought.
Yeah.
Because it's just flat pretty much, apart from this really light slope towards the stage.
Closer towards the stage, yeah.
Yeah, and I've read comments from other people in the Facebook group just saying it's great for accessibility in terms of they've got a viewing stand that's really well looked after.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But just for people getting about as well.
Yeah, and I thought that was really good. One thing, there was a slight issue, and that was trying to find the toilets in the arena. So the accessibility ones you could see were next to the stage.
The viewing platform.
The viewing platform, yeah. Sorry, not to say, the viewing platform. But I struggled to find the main toilets. Yeah,
I only clocked them because you told me where they were.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually use them just because I didn't need to in the arena.
Yeah, I had to go and ask somebody where they were because it just didn't seem like there were any in there, and they were kind of hidden away a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that they did have maps around. I saw a couple in the arena and also on the walk into the arena on some of the fencing near the toilets and stuff.
Oh, right, okay.
They had like the map that was shared beforehand and also the stage times listed.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally missed that.
And I imagine because old school again, they had programmes. I think we mentioned that the wristband people had programmes.
Yeah.
I think that had all that kind of information as well if you had it.
But
yeah, I think signage as well because we struggled to find the merch stand.
We did, yeah.
We kind of walked past it Friday night, didn't realise, and I only realised walking in on Saturday towards the stage. I just thought it was a normal kind of clothing store that you get at festivals.
That's what I thought.
And then I spotted the stuff behind. They could have maybe there was a sign and I missed it, but it wasn't that clear. It wasn't the official
very clear
merch.
that it was the official merch, yeah. The drinks. So this is an interesting one. So they say it's a rule of 4 cans.
Yeah, I think it's 4 cans or a bottle of wine or some kind of equivalent of spirits that you can take in.
Which is better than most festivals. I'm not quite sure how it's sort of regulated.
I don't think, because I
think it's mainly done on trust, isn't it?
I think it is. I know people who had kind of cool boxes or picnic baskets. They were being checked in terms of alcohol and also make sure they weren't taking any glass in.
Yeah.
But generally, we only walked in with 1 can at a time.
Yeah.
Probably twice Friday, twice Saturday.
Yeah, probably.
So between us, we probably only took 4 in.
Over the weekend,
yeah. And I think it was kind of 4 Friday, 4 Saturday.
Yeah.
Which, like you say, it's more than generous, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can take your own food in as well.
You can take your own food in, yeah. So, I also thought that people really didn't take the piss either. There wasn't people kind of trying to walk in with a stupid amount, or everybody just seems to basically take a couple of cans. Just
you'd see people maybe with 1 in each pocket or something like that.
Exactly, yeah. So that was really, really good. And so it's 1 stage as well.
Yeah.
Which, as we said earlier, it's 1 stage, and there's about 20 minutes between each bands just to get set up.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly about 20 minutes. Which, because of the proximity of the campsite, is perfect if you do want to go back, quick drink at the tent, come back.
Yeah, I think, my example of that it's actually from Saturday. I know we've not finished on Friday yet, but I think we watched the first band Saturday, walked back to the tent, sat down, had a drink, went to the toilet on the way back, got back into the arena, sat down for about 5 minutes before the next band came on.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you a bit of perspective on how close we're talking. And we weren't camped that near. We weren't the furthest away.
Oh, no, but we were...
Probably mid-range, I would say.
At least,
where we were. So, it was so... I mean, we thought Bloodstock was small, didn't we?
Yeah, this
in terms of an outdoor, fieldy, camping-based festival, this was...
A lot smaller.
A lot smaller, but in a good way.
In a very good way, yeah. The merch itself, one of the disappointing things, and they have kind of posted about this since.
Yeah, because a lot of people have said the same, haven't
they?
A
lot of people have said the same thing about that I did. I was after a particular T-shirt, so I wanted the one with the dates on the back. Sorry, not the dates with the bands on the back.
I think there were two with bands on the back, weren't there? One was the black and white, one was the coloured one.
No, so there was two T-shirts. One has got the bands on the back, which is the black and white one.
Yeah.
The other one is the one I've got, which has got old school on the back.
Yeah, no, there was a coloured one with bands on as well.
Oh, that one sold out as well?
That one had already sold out before, yeah. And also hoodies, which I think had...
I think they had
the same as the black and white one.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the hoodies.
No, they'd gone really quick.
Yeah, and Stonedead themselves have kind of put some notices up on, I think they did it on Facebook.
Yeah, and Twitter, saying they're going to redo the merch. And it's quite interesting, actually, because they released the merch to buy online way in advance of the festival, don't they?
Yeah.
And since they initially did the first run, a couple of bands changed as well for varying reasons.
So some people have got different bands on the back, which is something else quite cool, because I'd have both sets then.
But yeah, it's interesting that even though people had bought merch in advance, they still hadn't provided enough on the day. But I did see quite a few people commenting things like, I can't make it this year, but I'm still going to buy some merch to support you.
Yeah.
So I think that might be one of the reasons.
Yeah, it could well be. But they apologised for it. Said, really sorry, we didn't think the demand would be this much. But
and it's obviously a good thing that it is for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I dropped lucky. I
got your size,
I got what I wanted. I asked them what they got left, and they said they got this one in a medium, that's it. And I was like, well, that's what I want. But we got a couple of cups. They do the reusable cups, 2 different ones. Yeah,
and they are really cool as well. They've got really good design. Both have got different designs on the front. And at least one's got the bands on the back.
One's got the bands on. One, I think, is just like a Stonedead logo.
Yeah. But they were really like those. I also got a patch.
Yeah. And I think they've got some T-shirts from previous years. They've got Christmas T-shirts. I think they might have had a couple of those different designs.
Were they things that they were selling off? And...
Yeah. And I don't know if they were cards or just artwork from previous years as well. So they've got quite a bit going on, merch-wise.
Yeah, so obviously if they'd got the full range available, that would have been even better. But, but they're going to make it available.
And just price-wise as well.
I was going to say the same thing.
£20 for a T-shirt, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, so I spent £50. I got 2 T-shirts, 2 mugs and a patch.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining about that at all. I actually see that as getting the cups and the patch for free, because normally merch T-shirts are at least 25.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really happy about that. Food?
Yeah, we can go on to food next.
Talk about food?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't actually buy a lot of food there.
I'm trying to think what we got. So there was...
Yeah, I mean, because we arrived kind of Friday afternoon. We kind of took a bit of a car picnic with us because we didn't know if we'd be stuck in traffic or anything. Yeah. So we kind of had a little picnic when we got there. And then we had pizza Friday night.
We did.
Because in the campsite, it was like a general grill van, I think, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That we didn't really look at. A pizza stall and then a coffee and cake van as well.
And the pizza's made fresh. Look, I mean, literally made fresh. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
Popped into a little wood-fired oven.
Yeah.
And you just had to wait 5 minutes or so for them.
Yeah, so we shared a pizza Friday night.
Yeah.
And it was just really nice. Really nice. Really fresh. And I could not have been happier with that.
Yeah.
The coffee as well.
Yeah,
the coffee is really nice.
Yeah, I was disappointed that I missed out on the cakes that they had when we went back, I think Saturday evening.
Yeah.
They'd all sold out, but never mind, the coffee was good.
Yeah, the coffee was good, yeah.
You had a choice of either an instant coffee or a latte. Yeah,
which was nice, because people might not necessarily want to pay for, kind of like a fresh coffee.
Yeah.
A lot of people might be happy with kind of like an instant. I like fresh coffee, so...
Yeah, we are coffee snobs, generally. I will drink an instant, but if there's another option...
If I've got that option, I'll go for that. Yeah.
They also had a range of pot noodles available, which we didn't take advantage of because we didn't need to, but that's always good to note.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a good idea. I don't know why more places don't do that. So it's so easy. It could be so easy for them to do it. But yeah, that was really good. And again, everybody really, really friendly.
Yeah.
Then we had... did we have pie the next day?
We did, yeah. We did have a bit of an issue food-wise on Saturday, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. So this was a problem.
There was a really good range, I think, of food choices in the arena.
Yep.
And the one sad thing about it being such a short festival was there was loads of things we wanted to try.
Yep.
But in particular, the Greek stall stood out to us, so we were going to have that Saturday afternoon, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. I was in the queue for the Greek place for 25 minutes at least.
It felt like you'd been gone a while.
Yes. And as soon as I got to the front, I was then told that, oh no, we can't take card payments. The card machines are down. It's like, well, I've been studying for 25. You could have, you know, if you know there's an issue and it's affecting all of that row, which was a hell of a lot of machines it would have affected, let people know. That's that was kind of like the biggest gripe of the weekend. Yeah. So I just tell people.
Yeah. So you came back, didn't you? Because we'd got our chairs at that point. I went and had a look at a couple of other places on that road. There was another pizza place, but they did have a sign up saying cash only at the moment. Yeah. And another stall, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I know they had halloumi fries on it and other similar things. And so I just gave up and went to the other side and just stood in the pie queue, basically.
But didn't you ask them if they were taking card first as well after the...
No, once I got near enough to shout over, I checked that they were. But on the other side, there was the pie van. There was, I can't remember what it's called, like a vegan cantina or something. Which sounded nice, but I was getting food for both of us, so that wasn't going to work for you. There was the curry stall, and I think there was another one. But I thought, well, pie, you can't go wrong with pie. You can't go wrong with a good pie. So we just had pie, curly fries, and mushy peas.
Yeah, and it was cracking.
It was, and a bargain.
And a bargain, yeah. The price is £8
each, yeah.
Each, so for a lot of other festivals, that's probably going to be about 12. I thought. So I was happy. I was very happy with the pricing on that.
And it was good pie as well.
Yeah, it was really nice. The whole thing was just what I needed.
It was good stodge at that point because we were getting a bit hangry.
Yeah,
I think. And then we just had a pizza later on before bed, didn't we?
We did. Yeah, because, and again from the same place. Peckish, from the same place, and again, beautiful pizza. I think it was pizza and coffee for me.
Yeah, I just had pizza. I think. No, I had pizza and hot chocolate.
Yeah, the hot chocolate. Yeah.
I did. Yeah, not with a ton of marshmallows on this time.
No.
So yeah, the downside is that there wasn't enough time to eat all the nice looking food.
Yeah, that's not a bad problem to have, is it?
Yeah, but potentially for next year, maybe take cash just in case.
Yeah, I'll cover that. Just as a backup, I'll maybe carry a bit of cash.
I mean, there may have been some there, but I didn't notice any cash machines. I didn't look for them.
I didn't specifically look for them either.
But yeah, that could be something to bear in mind.
Yeah, and I suppose the thing is as well on the cash front is that when we go to festivals, because we go to bigger festivals, it's all card anyway.
It is.
And a lot of places don't even take cash anymore.
No, Download didn't, did they? No. Bloodstock did. I did actually take some cash to Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Just because I'd been saving £5 notes for a year for Download and then it was cashless, so I took them to Bloodstock instead. Yeah. But maybe that'll be a thing now. I'll save my fivers for Stonedead.
Stonedead? Yeah, why not?
Fivers. Put them in my Stonedead cup instead.
Yeah.
And then drinks in the arena were again great.
Unbelievable.
$4.90 a pint, I believe, for what we bought. No, I bought pints of the Motorhead Roadkill. They were $4.90.
Yeah, and so I think everything was priced the same pretty much.
Yeah.
So I had a Heineken as well. Yeah. That was $4.90. It's like, it's like we were so pleased about the Bloodstock prices being a fiver. And it seems like we're just getting cheaper festivals.
Yeah, and I think there was 2 kind of main bars in the arena that had varying ales, lagers, ciders on. And then there was also I can't remember the name of it, the whiskey stall that had various meads on, which we didn't try.
No, I didn't even see that place. Which is probably a good job.
Cocktails and Prosecco. Probably was a good job, but definitely keeping an eye out for those guys because they had some tasty sounding drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, as well, Friday. Definitely had first day festival blues on the Friday. I hit it quite hard.
You did, yeah.
So... yeah, Friday was definitely a hard day. Saturday was a lot more paced.
Yeah.
I'd say.
On to the bands of Friday, or anything other?
I think we've covered all the other stuff, so we should probably go on to the bands.
Oh, Mercia Spirits. They were the whiskey stroke mead stroke cocktail
because they're linked
bar. They're linked to These Wicked Rivers, who we'll talk about shortly.
Yeah. So, first band up is Kicking Valentina.
No, it's not. We've got Friday to do yet. We haven't done the bands of Friday.
Who was the bands of Friday?
We saw Revival Black first.
I forgot we saw Revival Black, yeah.
Yeah, because we almost did what we sometimes do at festivals and get comfy.
Yeah.
We were comfy outside the tent with drinks, chatting to our neighbour, and we could then hear that a band had come on stage, so this would have been about 6:30, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, we better get to the arena, so off we toddled.
Yeah, finished his drinks, headed over there.
Yeah, and we probably saw the last 2 or 3 songs, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Really good from what we did see them.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah. For some reason, I thought Kicking Valentina was Friday, but they were Saturday.
No, they were Saturday.
Yeah, no, God.
No, I'm just saying, from what we saw of them, they sounded really good. Definitely one to check out more of.
Yeah, and I'll keep an eye out for Revival Black, and hopefully they're going to play some gigs close to us. So yeah, I'd like to see a full set by those.
Yeah, and then next up we had Massive, which we'd listened to beforehand, so not a lot. They were relatively new to me.
They were.
I get one of those bands that I'd always heard of, and in my head half got mixed up with Massive Wagons.
I kind of get why you've done that, yeah.
I'm like, oh, Massive? No, Massive Wagons. No, it's just Massive. But yeah, Australian rock and roll.
Yeah, a little bit AC/DC.
Yeah, I would say so.
From memory.
Yeah.
Really good. No complaints there.
Yeah, and they just really lifted the atmosphere.
Yeah, it was
classed as party night, isn't it, Friday?
Yeah.
So they definitely...
They picked it up.
Yeah, the pace up.
Yeah.
For that. So yeah, they were really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed those.
And then last up were Black Spiders, but we actually just went back to the tent at that point, didn't we?
Yeah, because I was steaming.
You were. We needed some food. We were half going to go back to watch Black Spiders. Kind of a bit sad that I missed them because I heard some good reports on them. But we could hear them from the tent. That was the other beautiful thing about being so close to it.
Yeah, it's always, yeah, and you can hear it really well. Yeah. So that was good.
And then after they finished, I think it was then kind of a party party in the arena. Yeah. So I think in previous years, the Friday night used to be in like an indoor part of the showground. And then last year...
Oh, probably in the hangars and everything.
I think something like that. And then last year, because of COVID, although the event could go ahead, I don't think they could have it indoors.
Indoor gatherings.
So they did it outside. And then I think they just stuck with the outdoor for Friday. And
right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the weather was great all weekend, so it was better.
Definitely, yeah. And... yeah, I think that pretty much sums up Friday.
Yeah. We only saw a couple of bands, didn't watch full sets for everybody, but from what we saw, we enjoyed.
Yeah. And
then on to Saturday.
So first up on Saturday were These Wicked Rivers.
There were,
They kicked off proceedings at 11:30 and, yeah, the opening band for the main day of Stonedead, they have a poll of loads and loads of bands get put forward onto the Stonedead Facebook group, I believe, or that's where they promote it, and then people just keep voting. They have various heats, and These Wicked Rivers won the poll, so rightly deserved, I would say.
I'm glad they did. So they're like a bluesy sort of 70s Zeppelin.
Yeah, I've got Zeppelin vintage bluesy down.
So there's harmonica going off. They've got a random kind of stage setup as well.
Yeah, rugs and granny lamps. Big
kind of like backdrop.
Yeah. With one of those kind of old school rug patterns on.
Almost like the rug from the Big Lebowski.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I'm thinking there's going to be a term for it, a Lebowski rug.
Lebowski rug.
You know what we mean. Big beards going on.
Yeah.
Hats and coats. They must have been a bit toasty because it was warm.
It was very warm, yeah. And for the time that they were on as well, they pulled a really good crowd in.
Yeah, we were surprised at how big the crowd was at that point of the day. But then thinking about it, you know, often when you go and see the first band... it's usually more than one day to start with.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. Yeah. So, but with it being mainly one day, and a lot of people would have been on day tickets, you'd want to watch the whole day. Make the most of just the one day, don't you? So, absolutely makes sense that it was so busy when you think about it.
Yeah, and for me, these were one of my favourites over the weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought they were amazing. I think probably like the top song out of the set they played was probably Testify.
Yeah.
Really like that.
Yeah, I really love that song as well.
And I really want to watch these guys again. Are these the ones from Derby?
They are.
They are from Derby.
As previously mentioned, like all the best things are. They've got one album out so far, and they're currently crowdfunding their second album.
And there is some really cool shit on there.
Yeah, so go and have a look at their website or their social media, and you can link out to the crowdfunding. They're about 85% there at the time of recording. So
yeah, there's a few things that have sold out, but there's I do keep having a sneaky little look. I might end up buying something.
Yeah, I might buy a t-shirt or maybe something completely random.
I might have something random.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely go and check those guys out.
And
Next up, after a quick whiz back to the tent and back to the arena, we had Kicking Valentina, who were not on the original lineup. I think they replaced Thunder Mother, who had to pull out.
Yes.
And again, these guys have been around quite a while, about 9-10 years, I think, but they'd not been on my radar at all, which is bizarre because they're the kind of thing I would.
It's definitely
love.
a U band.
Yeah, they're kind of old school rock and roll metal.
That's what I thought. So I thought it was kind of like Guns N' Roses meets Motley Crue.
Yeah, with a hint of LA Guns.
Yeah. I forgot about LA Guns. Yeah.
Yeah, you know the sort, bandanas, black fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise, actually, till I was looking into... I think I read about them when they first got announced, and it kind of passed me by, but their lead singer that they had then has actually been with them for about 3 years. He's not the original one.
Okay.
But he really suits the band. I don't know what the previous one was like, so I can't compare, but...
he's good. He's definitely a good fit.
He's a good fit. A really good front man, gets the crowd going.
Yeah, I thought they were really fun.
Yeah.
Loads of energy. Just, really picked up.
Yeah.
Really picked up when they played.
Yeah, from definitely.
Going from kind of like a bluesy band to a faster 80s, 90s kind of vibe. The pace changed.
Definitely, but in a good way.
But yeah, they were good.
And I think they've done a few more dates out and about around the UK, because they are American, aren't they? So I don't know how long they're over here for, but if they're still out and about, go and give them a watch too, if you like that sort of thing. We then went back to the tent again, and we saw the Lancaster Bomber Flypath.
Yes.
Which kind of freaked us out, because there'd been a few planes going around and about, because it's not far from an RAF base.
Yeah. And there's the Air Museum's right next to the showground. And
we were just kind of at the tent getting a drink, and we could hear a very loud aeroplane. And I was like, oh, it's that. Yeah, so that was kind of cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really did a flyover really low.
Went round a couple of times, and I kind of knew about it in advance, but then I'd forgot that they did it, because they've done it at least the last couple of festivals,
so there's a big, with the festival, there's a big kind of military support.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's sort of like part of the, I suppose, the ethos, in a sense, the whole festival.
Yeah.
And so you do get a lot of ex-servicemen, active servicemen as well.
Yeah.
Servicemen and women.
Yeah. Service people. Yeah, because they have the toast at 11, don't they? The military toast as well.
Which is something we'd forgot to mention about that.
Yeah, we did actually. But that we didn't actually go to it. But then they had the kind of the standstill there, and people could pop a little message on in remembrance of somebody. So that was a nice touch. But the flypast went past a couple of times. Got a bit of footage of it, and other people who were in the arena got some really good footage of it going over the stage and stuff, so that was quite cool as well. And then I believe the Treatment were on next. Again,
one of the things I did notice about these was really good crowd interaction. They were really all about the crowd. They were really playing it up to the crowd. And, kind of like a bit of an AC/DC sort of thing going on. I mean, they've got a great song called Bite Back, which is... that's probably my favourite song by the Treatment. And but I thought they were fun. Yeah. Again, it kind of followed on a good pace.
Right, the next band up were Heat, or H.E.A.T.
Yeah, Heat.
Heat. Which you didn't see because you were having a disco nap. Back in the tent.
I was a little tired, feeling it a little bit.
Yeah, you're a bit parted out by that point. And you weren't overly fussed about seeing Heat, were you?
No, they weren't. Like, I know they've been around a while, but they just weren't for me. So I just thought I'll have it now. Yeah,
I was quite intrigued to see them, because again, they're one of those bands that I feel like I should have liked for a long time, but I think I only came across them. I think they were going to be at Download possibly 2020 or 21. So I looked them up then. I was like, oh, these are quite cool. Again, kind of old school 80s, 90s. Rock, metal, sleazy kind of thing, with a Swedish twist this time. Again, they were really good. They kept that kind of upbeat party vibe going on. They got sing-alongs like Rock Your Body, got the whole crowd singing along to it. They were really good. They're just what I expected them to be, really.
Okay.
But yeah, glad I've ticked them off. Would happily watch them again at a festival or if they're out and about. I think they have actually got a tour in October, but I think it clashes with something else we've got on.
Okay.
But yeah, they were good.
All right. Then, if we got a gap there.
No.
After Heat? No.
After Heat, I went and sat on a hay bale and rang you to see if you were awake.
Okay.
And you were.
Yeah, I think I'd just woken up.
Yeah.
I'd just woken up.
You'd just wake yourself up from your slumber. So I sat on a hay bale outside the bar and waited for you to come in. And then I went to the bar, got a drink for when you arrive.
Yeah. And did I get a pint at the same time? Or was that later?
I don't know.
I thought there was a point where I got 2 pints on the go.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Went to the bar, got a couple of pints, and then we wormed our way down to the front. I'm off worming again. For Stonebroken. Just to say, it was really easy to get to the front, wasn't it?
It was very easy, yeah.
I think I would almost say at least 50% of the crowd were actually sitting in camp chairs at the back.
Yeah. There was a lot of people sitting.
Yeah, it's just so chilled out that people, especially your day ticket people, come along with their camping chairs, their cool box, and just park up towards the back for the day. And you can see perfectly well if you want to do that. And then, so obviously for a lot of people sitting, you can kind of get down one side to the front. We pretty much stayed in the same place.
Yeah, we
for
were down kind of like the right side of the stage, weren't we? Decent spot.
And there was plenty of room about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just quick interjection there. First time I've been to a festival for a long time and not seen a pit.
I was going to say the same thing to you.
So there's no fear of getting dragged into a pit.
Yeah, I never saw one
no
pit.
No moshing, it was just bouncing along, singing along.
Yeah. It's not really the kind of place, I think, for a pit.
Oh, not at all, no.
And
but that was quite nice, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so Stonebroken.
Yeah.
So from Walsall.
They are, yeah.
I absolutely love these. I thought they were great.
Yeah.
Go on.
What? No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I've heard that and a lot of people said this, they kind of get compared to Nickelback a lot.
Really?
Which I don't get. No. A lot of people have said they sound like Nickelback, but to me they don't.
No.
But they do remind me of somebody else. Just try that. Is it Creed?
No. Not in my mind, anyway. No offence.
Is it Creed or is it Stained? Or I honestly, they remind me of somebody, but I can't think who it is. But it's definitely not Nickelback.
No, I don't know, really. They just seem themselves to me.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw them at Download Pilot for the first time.
We did.
Loved them there. So, yeah, I was excited to see them again.
Yeah, so seen them a couple of times now.
Yeah.
And they also played a new song exclusively at Stonedead.
They did, yes.
Which was Stronger.
Yeah.
Which is an absolutely belting song.
Yeah, I really liked that one.
And again, yeah, they were kind of... pretty much all of the bands over the weekend were really big on crowd interaction.
Yeah.
Which was really cool to see, because some festivals you just don't get that.
And I was thinking about this earlier as well. A lot of the festivals, particularly Bloodstop, because that's obviously a lot heavier, you don't get the same sing-alongs the same.
No, you don't.
And it made me realise how much I love a sing-along. Yeah. And again, like with Stonebroken, they've got some quite good sing-along songs that the whole crowd know that we sing along to. That was really cool.
Yeah. Again, these were really, really good. And I do want to see I want to see Stonebroken for the third time now.
Yes.
So, seen them twice before, but yeah, definitely want to watch them again.
Yeah, and there was a little random moment partway through, wasn't there, where they got a couple on stage.
They did. I'd forgotten about that.
Had they won a competition or something? I can't remember how they got up there. And basically, they invited them on, and they were both allowed to say something. Yeah, they were both allowed to say one thing each. One thing each, yeah. So the bloke went on first, and he thanked the kind of organising and everything, didn't he? For such a great festival. And then she came along and proposed to him. Yeah. Apparently, the band were in on that. Were they? I read after, yeah. So that was cool. Yeah. So congratulations to them. Yeah. Then moving on to the next band. That was Vandenberg, who we didn't watch. We didn't watch Vandenberg. And it's also worth mentioning there was another band we missed. Yeah, we forgot to mention earlier, we didn't actually watch Tigers of Pantang. Yeah. I think it was like
for both bands. That's probably just from what I've listened to, just not my kind of thing. And I think that was the only reason.
Yeah, particularly with Tigers of Pantang, we just thought, we've watched. We're a couple of bands in. We'll go back to the tent for a little bit. If we see them when we go back, then great. If we don't, not overly worried. Similar with Vandenberg, I think we were getting our food then as well. So we just kind of sat at our food and then went back to get ourselves prepared for the next band, really. And we did hear Vandenberg back from the tent, didn't we? Yeah. And it was cracking out some Whitesnake classics.
Yes, there was a lot of Whitesnake, which is weird because I do like Whitesnake.
Yeah, I do, but
it's...
Yeah, it wasn't... I know he was in Whitesnake, but it wasn't Whitesnake.
Yeah.
And then on to what I would say the band of the weekend.
Absolutely. By a hell of a long way.
Those Damn Crows. Yeah. We're big Those Damn Crows fans anyway.
Well, seen them...
That is the...
Third for me, fourth for you? Or is it fourth?
Fourth for you, fifth for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out the other day, we don't own Those Damn Crows t-shirt.
No, we suddenly realised we've seen them a lot, but we've only ever seen them at festivals.
Yeah. And I've also seen that when they're touring, it always kind of conflicts with something else that we've got on.
It is. And I've not spotted them doing a lot of headline shows since pandemic. I know they played Derby last year, but we couldn't go for some reason. And they've done quite a few big shows around Wales over the summer, like outdoor shows, which have sold out.
Yeah.
So they may potentially be cool to go to. But again, I think they kind of were on weekends where we'd already got other things going on.
Yeah, because we went through a phase of buying tickets for all the gigs. And we saw them at Download, and we saw them here this year. Yeah,
so twice this year.
So we've seen them twice this year.
First saw them at Download 2019. They were on the Courtyard stage.
They were.
The RIP Courtyard. And they were amazing then.
Yeah, they broke my eardrums.
They did break your eardrums. Well, yeah.
I mean, I was stood next to the speaker stacks. That's maybe my fault, but...
Yeah. But anyway, even from that initial performance where we saw them way back then to such a tiny crowd, that you could just tell they were going to be big.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that the get in there.
Yeah, and it's like every time I've seen them, the crowd that they played to has just got bigger.
Obviously Download's slightly different because...
Yeah, obviously Download was a big crowd this year, but at the same time, how many people that who knew them were actually watching them, if you know what I mean.
Whereas everybody was watching. The whole place packed out for...
It absolutely did. Yeah.
And absolutely blew me away again.
Yeah.
And some of the best magic trick I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah. When Shane disappeared, the whole length of the crowd, he kind of jumped in, didn't he?
Yeah, he jumped into the crowd and everyone was kind of like, where is he?
It's like, well, he was still singing, but you couldn't see him. And then we turned around and he was on the accessibility platform with his Welsh flag.
Yeah. And then...
and everyone was just like, how did he get there? Because even though we were in front of a screen, but I don't even think the camera had picked up.
The camera hadn't picked him up.
On him, so he was obviously just kind of weaved through the crowd.
Yeah.
And there he was.
Just kind of disappeared through the crowd, turned up at the back. It's like, oh, that was pretty epic.
Yeah, and then he kind of made his way back to the front for the last song with his Welsh flag still on.
Yeah. Yeah, but musically, vocally, the whole band were just on it.
They were, yeah. Absolutely, his vocals are amazing. He's just a proper singer, isn't he?
Yeah.
With such a strong voice, hits every note, and you just can't fault him.
Yeah. And I would have been happy with those as the headliners, I'll be honest.
Oh, definitely.
They were just amazing. Absolutely incredible. Yeah. He finally got his piano fingers working.
He did, yeah.
After a little bit of a slow start, but...
But yeah, he got there. Yeah, and they played a new track as well.
They did, which was really good.
Wake Up, that's... Yeah, looking forward to that coming out. Not quite sure when it's coming out, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, and they played a lot of kind of like the bigger hits.
Yeah, because it was a good mix. I think I had a look earlier at the set list. It was 12 songs in total. So it's kind of a mix of first album, second album, the new song, and then a random video... Oh, is it?
Video Killed the Radio Star.
That's the one. That obviously got a good sing-along anyway, because even people who didn't know their own songs, everyone sang along.
Everyone knew that, yeah.
Which is great. I've seen loads of people say after how blown away they were by them, because a lot of people only seen them for the first time.
Yeah.
A lot of other people agreed that they were band of the weekend, so...
Oh, yeah, I've seen a lot of big praise for them.
And I got a drumstick.
You've got a drumstick.
To go with my Those Down Crows set list.
So I got you the set list at the courtyard.
At the courtyard, yeah, with a footprint. I don't know which band member's footprint it is, but it's got a footprint on it. And I got a drumstick.
Yeah, a properly used Those Down Crows drumstick.
Didn't expect it because they were throwing plectrums out beforehand, and then Ronnie, the drummer, I think he is, he was lobbing some sticks out. I was like, I'm not going to get one. I don't even know. I'm still stood here. And then one came our way, landed on the floor. A bloke put his foot on it and managed to wheedle it out and got it.
Yeah. So it is yours. Yeah.
And even though a bloke tried to persuade me to give it to their kid, like, who does that?
No.
No, it's mine. Anyway.
He's non-existent child. I'm just going to add to that.
Well, anyway. Yeah, you just wouldn't do that, would you? Oh, my kid would really love that, would it really? Well, so it wouldn't mind. So yeah, got a drumstick.
You've got a drumstick.
Photos to follow it. They might already be up by the time this goes out. I might be too excited.
Yeah.
I need to take a photo of it anyway. So yeah, that's got pride of place on the bookshelf now.
It has, yeah. So we're going to have to get some kind of stand because we've both got a drumstick each now.
We have, yeah. Along with my mum's Shawaddy Waddy drumstick.
Yeah, so your mum's got a Shawaddy Waddy. I've got a drumstick with Stephen Adler's signature on. And you've got a Those Damn Crows drumstick.
Slightly splintered. But nonetheless, authentic. Used, if you will. Drumstick, yeah.
And the headliner, I think the thing was, we enjoyed Those Damn Crows so much.
Yeah.
That we went, I don't think anything's going to top this.
Yeah. So, sorry, Michael Schenker.
Yeah, and I've like, everybody I know that's, when we said we were coming to Stonedead, everybody's banged on about how good Michael Schenker is live. And, I mean, we could hear him.
Yeah.
But we didn't watch him live.
Yeah.
We were kind of back at the tent for Michael Schenker, but
yeah,
he was great to kind of sit and have in the background.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and to be honest, if we'd have stayed in the arena, I think we'd have got our chairs again and just sat at the back.
And just sat at the back anyway.
So yeah, no offence, Mr. Schenker.
But I think it was kind of, we were probably a little bit worn out as well.
There was a combination of that, which is why I think we would have been kind of sat at the back just listening anyway. So we just decided to go back to the tent, grab a pizza and just listen to him. From there, although quite a few other people did seem to be leaving.
Yeah, that was interesting. Once Those Damn Crows were finished, there was a little bit of an exodus.
Yeah, I mean, I expected a bit of an exodus, people maybe just nipping back to get their chairs or a drink and go back again, but... and
possibly maybe like the younger people maybe not really being in Schenker but being into Those Damn Crows.
Possibly, yeah, but we kind of went back to the tent and then once Schenker was on, we went to the food van, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
And there was quite a lot of people leaving at that point.
Yeah, it did seem quite a few were leaving, which is, it's no reflection on him. I think it was just the crowd themselves, which probably a bit tired, to be fair, like us.
Yeah, so not fully into him, maybe have long journeys or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there was still a massive crowd in there to watch.
Oh, it sounded like it was a big crowd.
And for the pictures I've seen as well. Yeah.
That, I suppose, wraps it up, doesn't it?
Yeah. Should we mention old Crusher, the compare for the day?
Oh, yeah. I love Crusher.
How could we not? Bless him. He's still doddering along with his same old tales.
Yeah.
Those same obscenities that a few people complained about. And
again, you're at a festival.
Yeah.
Grow up.
But yeah, he's great as always, just to pop up between bands, isn't he?
Yeah, always had me laughing, yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to
well done, Crusher.
Hopefully see you there again next year.
Yeah. And on that note, does that wrap it up?
No, I just had a couple of times.
Come on, Columbo. One more thing. The only negative thing, this is such a tiny note on my little page of notes I was scribbling to remember things well, was I did find that people were noisy overnight in the campsite. That was my only negative. I do remember you saying that. I was
you were gone. And I mean, I had my earplugs in. I'm not very good with earplugs, but I had my earplugs in. And I thought, fair enough. It was like midnight when we went to bed, Friday at least.
Yeah.
And it was quiet at that point, but people had obviously got back. And I know you expect a little bit of noise at a festival, don't you?
Yeah.
But I just feel like playing music, shouting, singing at 3 a.m. is just a bit much. Don't know if I'm just being old, but...
Bit of both.
And I kind of expected it Friday, and I thought maybe Saturday won't be the same, but yeah, both nights I got woke up about 2:30 and it was going on. And again, it could have just been the luck of the draw of where we were camped, but You just think at a certain point, maybe just
dial it down
a little bit, maybe.
Other than that,
yeah.
I had a great weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, we're going back next year, so I'd say it's probably been my favourite festival of the year.
I would say so as well.
It's
just
eclipsed everything else.
It. Yeah, and like I say, I think from that moment we just drove in, and the first person we drove past was just so lovely, and like toddled us on through to the next person. And
and everybody was the same. So it was a great festival.
Yeah, I mean, even the lady towards the exit when I was walking out with my drumstick, she was excited for me that I got a drumstick.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, you got a drumstick."
But yeah, I can't wait for next year now.
Yeah. And I think one thing that probably sums it up as well is the fact we've hardly got any pictures of ourselves. Normally we're faffing about taking selfies and stuff, aren't we? I think we've got about 2. And the rest of the photos are bands.
Yeah.
Really. And a bit of the surroundings.
Bit of the surrounding area?
Yeah. Bit of a tour of the campsite, the walk to the arena, but yeah.
Well, roll on 2023, and I think, when's the band announcements? Did they say September?
Last year it was September.
So hopefully in a couple of weeks we might have
at least some of the bands sorted. So yeah, just a big shout out to all the volunteers who arranged it all. Did a cracking job.
Thank you for a great weekend.
Yeah. And see you next year.
Oh no.
We need to finish, don't we? So excited talking about this. Yeah, so anyway, thank you for listening if you made it this far, because this is quite a long one. So yeah, thank you for listening. Hope you've enjoyed what you're listening to. Do give us a like, follow, share on all the usual places. Instagram, Twitter, we're at Ready to Moshcast. Also on YouTube. At some point I might put some snippets of the bands we saw up on YouTube as well. That's just Ready to Mosh. And we'll be back next week with, I think, a normal episode, which will be a bit weird after all the festival preview reviews.
Yep.
And that, so yeah. Make it stop, Moog.